Thanks for having us, and congrats to 10 years of NOAH. And we're really proud of being part of NOAH as a sponsor. And so many great companies presenting here. I think one of the greatest successes is also NOAH itself. So yeah, big congrats. We've been meeting here a lot of investors in the last 4 or 5 years. In fact, I think only 2 investors have visited us in our office in Karlsruhe. So this is also for us a great opportunity to meet potential new shareholders. People like Fabrice Grinder, Jose Marin, companies like Inside Ventures, we've met here, and now they're shareholders with us. I want to talk about Chrono24. It's a marketplace for luxury watches. I guess in this audience, a lot of people really like watches. And yeah, telling you how we built this category killer. I don't want to bore you with numbers, so I put them all on one slide. Chrono24 has been there for a while. It was founded in 2003. We have almost even more than 240,000 watches on our platform from all around the world. It's a very global platform. We support 22 languages. We have sellers from almost 90 countries. And it's a really expensive market. So the average watch that's listed and bought on Chrono24 is about €7,000. This year, we are on track to do €900 million of transaction volume through our platform. And I just want to tell you why we really like this category, or why we love this category. We think that watches is an amazing fit for an online marketplace. It's a very small and but still valuable good. So I would assume that most people wouldn't consider to buy a consumer good from the other side of the planet. But the watch is an exception. So buying an Omega Speedmaster from Tokyo or from Buenos Aires is exactly the same thing as here in Germany. So you could easily make the acquisition there if you, for example, have a 10% to 50% better price. And even shipping is comparably attractive, and it's worth it. And watches is one huge global market. So we're not seeing local or even continental markets. Watches is one global market. And it's one of the few products that are exactly the same all around the world. And they are traded new and pre-owned. And especially the pre-owned is a very fast-growing segment. We are often asked, people seeing the success of Chrono24 and the size of our transaction volume, why is there no really big or even global e-commerce player selling luxury watches, new watches? And there are tons of small ones, but nobody really became big. And the reason is that the big watch conglomerates just would not allow that. They allow small online players to sell some watches, but as soon as you get bigger, they would just stop it. And so that is the reason, because even in the US, you don't really see a big e-commerce play for luxury watches. And so I think that's another reason why there is a strong command or demand for a marketplace model, where you can find, in our case, 1,800 watches from 1,800 different dealers and tens of thousands of private sellers on the platform. Another thing why we like this category is because it is a big, not only a big market, but also has a great economic outlook. People estimate that every year, about 50 to 60 million people worldwide reach the level where they start buying luxury. This might not right away be a Rolex, also a nice facial cream or some suitcases. But this is the level where people start buying luxury. And as I said, there are 50 to 60 million people added every year. And when we look on our platform, the number that makes us most proud of is how much money our users spend on watches. So the total watch industry is a €50 billion market worldwide. And we ask our users regularly, how much do you spend on luxury watches? And the total volume is about 15 to 20 billion euro of purchasing power of our users. Unfortunately, the vast majority of that volume is still not spent on Chrono24. So they still go to jewelers and buy on the high street. We're working on that and trying to build a lot more trust. As I said, so far, it's about 4 or 5% of that is actually happening on Chrono24. But the purchasing power is an amazing number, and this is also the journey that we're now going to turn this purchasing power in actual transaction volume and revenue through our website. And when you look back and see the traction, this is also something that we really like, that Chrono24 has grown a lot. We have done this without marketing. Some of our shareholders keep on pushing on us that we should spend a lot more money on marketing, and we will do so pretty soon. This is pretty much without marketing, just focusing on a big product. That the spikes that you see once a year is usually the Christmas season, and this has also already turned pretty mobile. So at this point of time, 60 to 65% of our traction, of our visits, are mobile. And when we look at the supply side, this is from professional sellers and private sellers. You also see an exponential growth in professional sellers on our platform, and even when we did increase the prices on our platform, they didn't really leave us. So there's a very strong stickiness. And on the right chart, you see that the dealers, after being with us, keep on spending more and more money with us. So when you look at the cohort starting at month 0 on the left, the dealers start spending more and more with us. So there's almost, people spend more, and so it makes it more attractive to acquire more and more dealers. Maybe one last thought, and a question that I hear a lot: what do you think about the smartwatch? By the way, only the left one is from Apple. The right one is a classical mechanical watch from a Swiss watch manufacturer with a mechanical movement in there, and they just had a funny idea about the design. It's from Moser and Société. And we see there two thoughts of thinking. There's two schools of thinking. One side says, well, the young people will buy smartwatches, and they will so much used to wear a smartwatch that once they can afford a real watch, they won't do the shift. And these people are lost to the industry. But on the other hand, young people today, young means like 15 to 28 years, mostly don't wear a watch at all. So now they start wearing smartwatches and get used to a watch, and then maybe some of them, after having a smartwatch on the wrist for a while, when they can afford it, think, well, now we can afford a real watch and make the switch. So far, we don't see any decline in demand. In fact, a third of the people who buy a smartwatch, 1 out of 3, stops using it within the first year. So I think that industry also has some challenges to find the killer app to make that successful. Thank you so much for listening, and thanks again, Marco, for letting us be here.